It's now 11 a.m. We have another weather update from the Fox Carolina Weather Center. The newest information from the National Weather Service includes a winter storm warning issued for Anderson and Lawrence County on top of our northern tier counties of the upstate, while a winter weather advisory was issued for Franklin, Hart and Elbert counties in northeast Georgia and Abbeville and Greenwood counties in southern portions of the upstate, where lighter snow ice accumulations are likely, but basically, we're looking at a possibility of a glazing of ice. So it's one of those things where an advisory doesn't meet warning criteria as far as accumulations are concerned, but at least the possibility of a light ice or snow glaze is possible, to the point where we could get some difficult travel conditions. But the worst of it going to be north of there along 85 and, of course, north, while we have light rain with occasional sleet pellets mixing in the upstate. While the mountains have begun to switch over to snow, we've gotten a couple of reports here over the past couple of hours. Steady rain-snow mix falling at the UNC Asheville campus, and a report of steady snowfall 2 miles northwest of Waynesville, which is about an elevation of 3,800 feet. So it's just the really high peaks that have some of that complete snow switchover, while a rain-snow mix falls elsewhere. We've got all this moisture left to go here, coming in from the southwest, combining with cold Midwest air. That's going to move east and eventually give us quite the winter storm. Temperatures, let's check in with those. Everybody at the surface is above freezing, so despite the fact that it's snowing, it's still not sticking to any roads or anything like that. 41 degrees in Asheville, 37 in Hendersonville, and pretty much 40 degrees as a median temperature across the upstate for now. So A-OK, despite what we might be seeing in the mountains, but dew points are still quite a bit lower. This is the temperature at which the air saturates, but it's also the temperature that the air can't go below. So basically upper 20s is how cold we could go over the next few hours in the mountains. That's why we've got that much higher potential for that snow switch over here very soon. Upstate, we're still sitting in the middle and upper 30s, so no freezing potential here during the daytime. Now, once we hit tonight, that becomes more of a possibility, so expect that to continue, that rain to snow switch over in the mountains the rest of the day. Meanwhile, in the upstate, it's just going to be rain. You might feel occasional sleet pellets mixing with the cold rain, which is pretty common, but still relatively harmless. But northern portions of the upstate could start to see a few wet snowflakes mix in during the early overnight hours, definitely toward midnight. That's also when we'll start to see some of the accumulations begin in parts of the northern upstate. Mountains for you, that's going to start a lot early. We're going to have widespread heavy snow across the area by midnight, maybe a wintry mix along and north of 85. But once we hit early tomorrow morning, that's going to be when we see a better possibility of freezing rain. Notice temperature is going to be in the lower 30s, at or below 32 degrees along I-85. And with rain falling, that's going to freeze to surfaces. So Sunday morning, 7 o'clock through about noon, 1 o'clock Sunday. Notice temperature is still around 32 degrees. Mountains for you, this is still heavy snow. And it should get to about 35, 34 degrees by mid to late afternoon Sunday. So morning, early afternoon, that's the time to avoid the roads in the upstate as ice continues to accumulate. At least by late afternoon, we'll start to see the moisture move out of here. That's before the next round comes, which isn't going to be too long after that moves out. We're talking Sunday night into Monday, additional rain showers, maybe a wintry mix in the mountains, and then we'll see a rain-snow mix, a light one at that, continue throughout the day Monday in both the mountains and the upstate. So this is a 3-day event here by the time this all moves out of here by 10 o'clock Monday night. As far as snow accumulations are concerned, 85 and south, barely any. We've got that ice potential, though, which I'll show you in a second. And then along 85, that's going to be a really gray area. We've got 1 to 4 inches forecast, but it's probably not going to stick for very long. It'll be a wet snow, and it could happen when the surface is above freezing. Much better chances for accumulations exist above I-85. I should say north of 85. 5 to 8 inches for about the middle portion of northern Greenville County. 8 to 14 inches, though, as you get to the North South Carolina line, and that's going to be the forecast for a majority of the mountains. So a foot of snow is a good figure to go by in and around Asheville, and maybe even higher amounts for eastern facing slopes west of Asheville and east of Asheville, where we could see up to 2 feet of snow in some of the high country western North Carolina. So that's the snow forecast. Let's take a look at some of the ice forecast. This dark pink that you see along I-85 and into westernmost North Carolina, that's the area of highest likelihood of 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. So that's going to be a potential hazard for power outages, while the rest of the area you could still get a glazing of ice. So not quite as damaging, but mountains, you're going to have plenty of snow. That's really not going to matter too much, but areas south of I-85 could even still have a little bit of ice by the time we hit tomorrow morning. So mostly rain today, mixing with snow later tonight in the upstate. A freezing rain Sunday morning with a wintry mix the rest of the day. But again, early morning, early afternoon, that's when it's going to be iciest. Light rain to snow Sunday night into Monday, and that's going to be more of a light wintry mix and much lighter than what we see Saturday night and Sunday. Mountains, it's rain and sleet. Switching over to snow today, tonight, heavy snow and wind tonight into Sunday, and then light to moderate snow on Monday. So that's what you can expect in each place. We'll continue these coverages and updates throughout the day. This is the last one of our on-air cut-ins, though, as we have sports coverage here this afternoon. So be sure to stay in touch with our Facebook page, as well as our Fox Carolina News app. It's free to download on either Google Play or the App Store. We send you updates, watches, and warnings as they are issued. There's also continuing coverage on this evening's 10 o'clock newscast. We also have another run around 7 o'clock. We also have another edition of the morning news, a special edition beginning at 6 a.m. going till 8 a.m. or later, depending on how the weather is. And of course, after and between NFL games on Sunday. So we thank you for joining us this morning. Keep you up to date on our Facebook page and foxcarolina.com.